summer's intense weather is still impacting Nebraska farmers.
Then we bring you a breakdown of the 2024 election.
Finally, get an exclusive look into the inspiration behind UNO's newest degree program.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
Good afternoon, I'm Abigail Gosek.
And I'm Connor Schmidt.
Farmers across Nebraska are grappling with a difficult growing season. I spoke with experts at the Heartland Co-op who tell me that despite the abundance of rain earlier this year, the majority of Nebraska is currently in a drought.
2024 marks the third year that Nebraska has been under a drought. This summer and autumn has seen very little precipitation, leading to the driest September on record in Nebraska since 1895, according to the National Integrated Drought Information System. Heartland Co-op location manager Craig Gardner says that the drought has affected what services they have been able to provide customers.
It's impacted our daily work because we haven't been able to fulfill our work orders. We're filling our dry sheds with the fertilizer, but it's not going right back out to be able to go into the fields yet.
As of October 31st, the lower eastern corner of Douglas County is labeled as moderate drought, with the rest of the county labeled as severe drought, according to the U.S. Drought Monitor.
Despite the ongoing drought, Heartland Co-op and the farmers that they collaborate with are still working to make this year's crop go as smoothly as they can.
Alongside the struggle of growing crops amidst a drought, farmers also have to pay close attention to the potential for fires sparking as they work. Gardner says the dry conditions make the fire danger a hazard.
You know, their bearings with all the I would call it trash, but it's like from the corn stalks and the bean stubbles and everything like that, get bunched up onto your combine. It makes your bearings get really hot and it could spark fire. And there has been a few fires that I know of that have damaged crop ground with crops still in it.
This year's drought only continues to persist in severity, with little sign of improvement. As of October 29th, eastern Nebraska saw both moderate and severe drought expand, according to the U.S. Drought Monitor.
To follow the ongoing drought, you can visit the National Integrated Drought Information System's website at drought.gov for current conditions and data.
Nearly half of the community colleges in Wisconsin have shut down in the last year. Reporter Ashton Kay does a deep dive into closure, a recent documentary that explores the why of this issue and what it could mean for Nebraska.
The recently released documentary titled Closure investigates the closing of community colleges in Wisconsin. Ken Broski, the documentary's director and producer, says that this started with a Board of Regents meeting in 2017 when it was decided that the two-year schools would be merged with the four-year schools.
Two-year colleges serve such a different population of students that there was a lot of worry that the 4 years just weren't going to necessarily take the time to understand that enough. And I think that's kind of what happened.
After the merger, community colleges such as the University of Wisconsin-Richland, Washington County, and Waukesha were permanently closed. The documentary explains how the closure of these schools had a large impact on their communities. Students either had to drop out of school or transfer to the four-year schools and see a large increase in tuition. A lot of staff from these community colleges were laid off because there was no room for them in the four-year schools.
It especially harms communities that depend on access and also affordability. And when those two things disappear, you end up with a lot of people who are confused and upset, but don't necessarily know where to direct their anger. And I think that becomes very dangerous.
Chad Jorgensen is the Associate Dean of English and Humanities at Metropolitan Community College here in Omaha. Jorgensen says that these closures act as a cautionary tale. However, he notes that there are things that we in Nebraska can do to protect our public education.
Public schools are disparaged often, so being ready to defend them and advocate for them in part helps correct that record, which is, I think, deeply important.
For the Omaha News, I'm Ashton Kay.
Currently, closure is only available for viewing at limited screenings while it's being submitted to festivals. However, if you are interested in the documentary, you can receive updates at delavanfilm.com. Now, let's hear from reporter Jenna Jansen with the 2024 election breakdown.
Thank you, Connor. The polls have closed, but votes are still being counted. Former President Donald Trump has won the 2024 U.S. presidential election against current Vice President Kamala Harris. Trump surpassed the 270 electoral votes needed Wednesday morning, making him the second elect ever to win in a non-consecutive term and the first convicted felon to hold office. Now in the Senate, incumbent Republican Deb Fischer defeated Dan Osborne, making this Fischer's third term in D.C. As of now, Republican Don Bacon is favored to win the House seat over Democrat Tony Vargas. This year's ballot initiatives covered topics like medical marijuana, abortion, and paid sick leave. Both Initiative 437 and 438 to legalize medical marijuana and establish a medical cannabis commission both passed by a landslide. In a tighter vote, Initiative 439, a right to abortion after 12 weeks, was defeated with 51% of Nebraska voters against and 48% in favor. Required paid sick leave passed with 74% in favor and only 25% opposing. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jenna. Coming up, see how a local nonprofit is addressing food insecurity.
Then explore the history of tailgating in Nebraska after the break.
Create. Perform. Communicate. College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media.
Explore the historic Blackstone District in Omaha, Nebraska. With over a dozen restaurants, bars, and social settings, you can experience everything the iconic district has to offer. Eat, drink, socialize, and enjoy the day or night here in Blackstone.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Milevale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
A nonprofit is making a real impact by addressing the everyday needs of North Omaha residents. From food insecurity to career education, reporter Sapphire Bennett talks to people involved with this organization about their mission.
Located along 30th Street in between Hamilton and Lake, the nonprofit 75 North Revitalization is bringing people together through affordable housing, educational opportunities, and community events. 75 North aims to help encourage North Omaha residents to invest their time and energy into a neighborhood that they are proud to be a part of. Some of their past community events have included family movie nights during the summer and ACT prep courses for high schoolers. Hannah Greenwich, marketing coordinator for 75 North, says being a positive space for the kids in the neighborhood is a very rewarding aspect of this organization.
To me, my favorite part is knowing that when those kids knock on our door and they're coming here and they feel this sense of community and that they get to benefit from all the things going on and all this investment in the neighborhood.
Although 75 North is made of an only 6-woman team, it really has been inspiring change in North Omaha, an area that is too often associated with poverty and crime. In 2023, 75 North received 2 awards in recognition of their impact on the community from the FBI and the American Red Cross. One of 75 North's partnerships is with No More Empty Pots, a nonprofit with a mission to improve regional food insecurities and promote sustainability and self-sufficiency within the community. Dex Gabriel Woods, Community Education Manager at No More Empty Pots, says there's been a lot of positive feedback regarding their services, like their produce distribution and food education opportunities.
I think just increasing people's knowledge about what is available for them is I think people really like it. Through special partnerships and community events, 75 North is helping to build a stronger, more resilient North Omaha.
asked No More Empty Pots to move into their greenhouse on the Highlander campus just within the last 2 years. Although this is the first year of No More Empty Pots using the greenhouse, they have been able to include a variety of greens in their produce distribution. They intend on becoming more efficient with their growing process within the next year in order to better serve the community and reach more people. Back to you in the studio.
Artificial intelligence is adapting every day, and with it, so is education. Reporter Morgan Gardner gets a behind-the-scenes look at Nebraska's first AI degree program.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is breaking new ground with the state's first AI degree program by training students in cutting-edge technology to meet the demands of a growing tech industry.
In Nebraska, at least to the best of our knowledge, we are the first ones to have it. Yes, there are a lot of people who are doing AI degrees in our neighborhood. But I think primarily, even now, predominantly, many of these degrees are online degrees.
This initiative comes in response to the rapid advancements in AI technology and the growing demand for skilled professionals in the field.
With user-friendly tools and resources, students can leverage AI for everything, from research projects and everyday tasks.
Like this one. With a few prompts in a web-based generative AI interface, I can be a digital, synthetic version of me, and even give myself a British accent. Dr. Winter, a professor within the College of Information, Science and Technology, says the present trend of generative AI is only the tip of what students can get from studying within the field of computer sciences.
I know that there is tremendous interest in the community, in the industries, in this skill set.
UNO is committed to innovation and preparing students for the future, aligning its long-term goals with AI's potential to help students thrive where technology meets humanity.
We can interact with industry. We have this AI core, which is newly created.
For the Omaha News, I'm Morgan Gardner.
If you're interested in exploring a degree in AI, you can find a link to apply in this story at unomahanews.com.
Next on the Omaha News, learn about a museum move to the riverfront.
Then discover a new class that's bringing a superstar to UNO.
There seems to be like this gathering right here of really great minds and really great ideas.
I think it's a great moment, to teach a UNO student.
Being here, I get like a jump start on my journalism career.
I found a lot of people that are interested in like the same things as me.
Sort of a lifetime changing career for me and the best way it could happen.
I never thought I'd be standing in the clouds looking down on the ancient ruins of the Incan Empire. I never thought I'd live among the street artists in Valparaiso. I never thought I'd make friends that would last a lifetime.
Adventure's out there, and as Mavericks, it's up to us to find it.
Stop thinking, start doing. Visit educationabroad.unomaha.edu.
The 13th Floor magazine is a student-run campus literary journal that features poetry, creative nonfiction, fiction, microfiction, screenplay, and visual art from UNO students, alumni, faculty, and staff. It is produced by the students in the Writers' Workshop Literary Magazine course. New issues of the magazine are published every spring with a public launch party to celebrate its release.
Welcome to Spotlight Omaha, your go-to for arts, culture, and entertainment news around the Omaha metro area. Good afternoon, I'm Ben Badafarano. Today we're talking about museum developments and pop star influence. The Omaha Children's Museum is prepping for a major move to the riverfront with a potential opening slated for 2027. Reporter Jenna Jansen explores what this means for Omaha families and downtown development.
The Omaha Children's Museum is getting a new home in 2027. The museum is partnering with Heritage Omaha to build a new 75,000 square foot museum at 8th and Douglas Streets, along the heartland of America Park at the riverfront. The $120 million facility will feature larger exhibit areas, outdoor play zones, and classrooms to better provide more educational opportunities for kids of all ages. Vice President of Marketing and Communications at the museum, Andrew Mattinson, says the new Children's Museum will be a place for children to explore, learn, and express themselves for generations.
Our hope is that we have a new building that will inspire children for generations to come. It'll be a fun place for them where they can go and learn and explore and learn to express themselves.
Right behind me is where the new Omaha Children's Museum will take shape. Now, construction slated to start next year, this marks a key step in Omaha's ongoing riverfront development process.
Emma Riley, who grew up visiting the museum and now brings her younger siblings, says the new riverfront location will be beneficial for both parents and kids alike.
The new relocation is super cool. I think it's awesome to move it to more of like a central area. There's a lot of things down there for like adults and stuff like that, so it's nice to have somewhere like if the adults want to take the kids out, and then with the riverfront being so open and stuff like that for going on walks and stuff, it's amazing that they can do that and then be able to be like, oh my gosh, we could totally go here as well. I think that's awesome.
During construction of the new location, the museum will continue to operate at its current spot till 2027. For the Omaha News, I'm Jenna Jansen.
A new apartment complex named The Beam and a parking garage alongside the museum are in the works, with the Omaha City Council discussing the plans in the coming weeks. The Children's Museum is seeking public feedback on the new design till December 15th through a survey on their website, ocmriverfront.org. Taylor Swift is coming to UNO in a fashion. I spoke with experts who say Swift will be the subject of a new class next year. Taylor Swift is a 14-time Grammy Award winner, and according to a 2024 report from Forbes magazine, is the highest-grossing female touring artist of all time. This spring, the UNO Theater Department will offer an online class about the superstar, called Taylor Swift and Friends. The course is taught by playwright and UNO theater professor Charlene Donaghy. Donaghy says that Swift consistently appeals to audiences through both her music and her live shows.
I started as a Taylor Swift fan through hanging around my nieces and nephews and going, wow, this is like really great storytelling. Like she grabbed me with her storytelling. And then seeing what she does on performance, that spectacle was just mind-blowing to me.
Besides Swift, the course will also study the careers of Prince, Madonna, and Beyoncé. Students will study how Swift and the other superstars revamped core theatrical principles like lighting, set design, and costuming. UNO senior and avid concert goer Camden Carmichael says that when it comes to arena-sized shows, Swift is at the top of her field.
When you go to these big shows, you do expect a lot of pomp and circumstance, but I think Taylor Swift brings a completely different level to that. She's got backup dancers, she's got huge screens and stages and theatrics and fireworks and everything like that, and that is, I think it's just has changed the game recently.
A portion of the course will focus solely on analyzing lyrics. In the song Coney Island, what does Swift mean when she says, "The mischief, the gift-wrapped suburban dreams"? In a career spanning almost 2 decades, Taylor Swift is more popular than ever. You might say that she never goes out of style. Already scheduled your classes for the spring? Remember, Swifties, you can always audit. Speaking of musical performances, Peter Pan is flying into Omaha. Peter Pan the musical will be debuting at the Skate Ribbon Park at Heartland of America Park on Saturday. There will be Peter Pan gifts and food from local trucks throughout the event. On Sunday, the Omaha Symphony will be performing Mendelssohn's Elijah with a chorus built from high school choirs like Omaha Central and Creighton Prep. Join us next week for more Spotlight Omaha highlights.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded press to a full.
There's a unique educational experience right here in Omaha. With access to top-rated programs, in-demand degrees, and a worldwide community of graduates, UNO prepares students for life, wherever it may lead. From Omaha to Italy to Uganda to Japan, Mavericks are working in communities around the globe. So where will a degree from UNO take you? UNO, access to exceptional, access to the world. Learn more at unomaha.edu.
Tailgating at your favorite sporting event is big business in the United States. According to the National Consumer Panel, this pastime has contributed $35 billion to food and beverage sales last year. Reporter Riley McCall says Nebraskans are no exception to taking part in this time-honored tradition.
84, so this will be our 40th year in this exact same spot, and we absolutely love it.
Tailgater Kevin Irish hasn't missed a Nebraska home game in 4 decades. It's a tradition he shares with his fellow Husker fans.
My wife helps a ton. My son-in-law, Cole McAllister, helps a lot. And then we have a lot of friends that come from my hometown of Neely, Nebraska, and they help us set up as well.
The concept of tailgating began in 1869 with the first college football game between Princeton and Rutgers in New Jersey. Its origins can be traced back to ancient Greek and Roman harvest festival. But it gained popularity in the U.S. with the rise of cars and the construction of stadiums with large parking lots. Over time, tailgating evolved into the elaborate pregame celebrations as we see today. UNO Spirit and Tradition Director Bill Pickett knows this all too well. He and 13 students recently traveled to Las Vegas to show their support for the Omaha's hockey team.
We won the whole tournament, which was outstanding, but the students had a great time, not only in Vegas doing kind of touristy things, but supporting the team on the road, and that's something we always do. Great weather, great tournament, and just overall good trip.
It's been said that roughly 80% of Americans tailgate annually. Among the top foods, hot dogs, hamburgers, chips and dip, cold salads, wings, and desserts. For the Omaha News, I'm Riley McCall.
On the flip side, the cost of supporting your favorite team has increased by nearly 8.5% according to the Labor Department's Consumer Price Index. But clearly, the most loyal supporters are not deterred.
The UNO men's basketball season has begun with the same Durango spirit, but this time the team looks a little different. Reporter Juan Salazar will show us a glimpse of what to expect from the new lineup.
The UNO men's basketball team has seen changes since last year, and the Mavericks' plans to develop are about to be tested as the new season begins.
Well, one, the new players filled a void. We had a void, and we lost Frankie Fiddler, we lost a scorer, and we lost a couple other guys through the transfer portal. So, well, we needed another guy that could score. We filled a bunch of holes as far as talent is concerned. We got bigger. We got older and got more experience on our front line. So with all 3 spots, really, from the point guard to our wing and our big, we went out and got some experience.
Senior forward Markel Sutton was recently named All-League preseason player to watch. He shares his ambitions for the team and expresses his high hopes for what they can achieve together.
I can bring a lot of leadership. I'm one of the vets on the team. I've been here 3 years. We're an older team this year, so I gotta step up and be that leader this year.
The good thing about this group, the returners and the new guys have formed an unbelievable bond and an unbelievable connection.
Just having the chemistry off the court help us on the court.
I really think this is going to be a year where we really make a big jump, not just in wins and losses, but even in the perception of our program.
Now, you see why I won't be on the team, but stay updated with the game schedule to watch the UNO men's basketball team in action, with the season starting this early November. With Omaha News, I'm Juan Salazar.
With both new and returning players, the UNO men's basketball team is ready to take on this season. To find games, go to omavs.com/calendar.
That's all for today. Join us here next week for our final broadcast of 2024.
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at UNOmaha, the Omaha News, or find our website for even more stories at unomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.